Not in the shot. Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. man of the people, because you have a friend, or in this case, that you need for the Carolina Panthers, a counselor in me, covering this Carolina Panthers team, who today had one of the most miserable, disappointing, flat losses. It's just back-to-back, and it's hard. It's hard in the media. I know it's hard for you guys out there, but I'm going to do my best to get you up to date on everything that happened today, recapping the game for you. Final score in this game today was Carolina Panthers 7, Washington Commanders 40. And it was a game that you kind of thought at first, okay, here we go. I felt good, but, man, it was like a dose of reality. It hit you and just kept hitting you and running over you, reversed over you. But nevertheless, we're going to go through this game today. Carolina Panthers, again, fall to the Washington Commanders here in Landover, Maryland. Final score, Washington Commanders 40, Carolina Panthers 7. And before you all start to ask lots of questions about it, yes, I'll wait for that tractor to go by so you can hear me a little bit better. But yes, your head coach, Dave Canales, said Andy Dalton will continue to be his guy. Andy Dalton will continue to be his guy, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. We're also going to make sure we get to the comments today. I think today's a day that we break the format a little bit. Normally, game days, I just tell you what's going on, but I think today we need to go and get into those comments. So please start now. Start leaving your comments. How do you feel? What's your questions for me? Let me know, and we're going to do our best to get through as many of those as we can. But you know what we like to do? We have the best in the business taking pictures for us today and each and every Sunday. That is Patrick Snyder taking photos of the game action. We just like to say we're telling the story. So if you say, hey, that's not a good play for the Panthers, well, that's what happened today. So that's what we're going to show you. So let's go ahead and cue up these photographs from today and get started here. And none other than Andy Dalton saying, yeah, that was tough. That's Andy Dalton toward the end of the game there. Almost looked like he's looking up at our photographer saying, hey, what are you doing? But Andy Dalton posts near the end of the game there with the look of just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. This is a little bit earlier in the game, and I forgot my notes, so let me get my phone out so I can properly talk about this play. But nevertheless, it is Johnson tackling Jaden Daniels here early in the game, getting a sack, a little grimace on his face. And then we have, looks like, a nice play by the Washington Commanders. And my photographer's not going to help me out with what this play was here. It's probably an interception here. Yeah, this is going to be an interception because we've got the offensive line, Ikemi Kwanu going after number 6 here. And that's probably Dalton diving. But nevertheless, it was the action that started the onslaught of what was a terrible, terrible game. Hey, I love the comments that are coming. Dumpster fire, bring back Steve Wilkes, all that. Keep it coming. We're going to get to these comments here in just a moment. We're going to continue to work through the comments here, and here is another play on Jaden Daniels. And again, when Jaden Daniels goes out, you have to think a little bit like, not at all any happiness for the guy at all, but just from a game standpoint, like, hey, maybe now we have a different quarterback. We got Marcus Mariota that's going to come in here, and it just kept going even stronger, seems like. But that's an exceptional photograph there, capturing the tackle. I need my glasses on. And we're going to continue to work through here. This is pregame. Chuba being at one with the field here at Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. Just sitting down. I think his eyes are closed, man. That guy he gets in the zone. He gets out here, I want to say at least 2 to 3 hours. Let's see, I start the show 2 hours. I'd say he's out here about 3 hours before the game in his shorts, just running through things with some staff members, getting ready for the game, making sure that he stays sharp. He said earlier this week in the locker room that he's a guy that believes you just keep chopping at the wood until the tree comes down. You just keep chopping, and he's not there yet. He doesn't feel like he's there yet, and he's going to keep chopping away and trying to get even better. Here is a touchdown by the Commanders, one of many that they scored here today in the game. Balls look like it's coming loose there, but nevertheless, he's already crossed the plane, and that was ruled a touchdown for the Washington Commanders. Here was a questionable pass interference call. I'm not sure if that was pass interference or not. Here, it's just a football play. In all honestly, that's Shaw Smith-Wade, who's getting some more playing time here due to a lot of the rotations that we have coming. And the rookie's getting some more playing time. He's going to continue to learn that is absolutely pass interference when you're tackling a guy before he gets the ball. And he got coached up a lot, not only by J.C. Horn on the sidelines after that play, but Ivero coming over there as well, coaching him up. And also telling him to continue to be aggressive, but trying to show him, like, there's some different ways you got to try to play these things so you're not getting the pass interference calls. I know he had 2 today. He had 2 penalties called on him today. We will continue to work through these images here as the ball is in the air by, looks like the fumble by Raheem Blackshear on the special teams play, and he was hurt shortly after that. Well, he was hurt on that play, left shortly after getting up, walking off. He was not able to return. I believe that was a shoulder injury that Blackshear had, and at the time that he went out, it was doubtful, and he did not return during the game. So hopefully Raheem will be able to recover and continue to give us some weapons out there. Guess what this is, right? By nobody being around. J.C. Horn looking there. I'm not saying that J.C. Horn was on the coverage, but J.C. Horn looking at another score there by the Washington Commanders. Again, 40 points by the Washington Commanders. We did not score until very late in the game. And, hey, when you play the Carolina Panthers, you may feel like this a little bit, you know. If everybody's feeling strong, feeling tough, yeah, as you should be. So that'll take us through all the images? All right. And I got a comment up here that I did not mean to have up. But, yeah, those are your photos from the game today, brought to you by our great photographer, Patrick Snyder. And we're going to now go into these stats, which support this 40-7 beatdown that took place today. And, again, I see lots of good comments that are coming. Please keep those comments coming. Hit the like button. That helps other Carolina Panther fans find out about the channel, help us continue to grow. Committed to telling the story, good or bad, all season long. So we like your interaction, which is why we go live. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these stats, which will tell the story of the game. Let's go ahead and start with our passing stats, which, man, we're going to talk about Bryce Young. We're going to talk about Bryce, and he's at the top of the list. How about that? Did you know Bryce Young was 2 for 2 for -2, 4 yards? Yeah, let's bring that guy back quickly so somebody can win some betting margins. I don't know what we're going to do bringing that guy back. Bryce Young, 2 for 2. He was perfect, but -2 yards. Bryce being the check down guy that he is. So, you know, again, we're gonna come back to talking about Bryce. I don't believe the Bryces should come back. I don't believe that Andy Dalton is playing great right now, but it's just like you got a guy that you rate a 70 and you got a guy that you rate a 60, you know. Let's leave the Bryce Young out for a little bit and continue to maybe get some trade interest from him not stinking it up to somebody saying, oh, he could be fixed. Because to me, when you look at that very short sample of what he had out there today, and you can say, well, maybe the coach was calling, but he's checked down Bryce. Like, now, Andy wasn't lighting it up either. Andy wasn't pushing the ball down the field like he normally is either. They were daring us to throw the ball, and we did throw the ball, but we still weren't getting the ball downfield. So I like to go into a lot of the film work for this game today because it was just one of those, like, you know, where was it coming from? Like, even the interception that he threw to Deontay, as soon as Dalton threw that interception to Deontay, he puts his hands up and they go on the sidelines and they talk about it. So obviously you want to think, well, maybe he expected him to cut in or out, and he went the other way that he thought he was going because it was, you know, immediately he threw his hands up like, what are we doing? We're not on the same page, which is a little weird to see this far into the game season with Dalton being a quarterback, but it's what happened. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of those stats. Andy Dalton, 11 of 16. Not bad, right? 11 of 16. My quick math, that's somewhere around the 70-ish percentile. Not bad, but the huge problem that carried over from last week is he threw the interceptions in bunches. And when you throw the interceptions in bunches and you have the defense that we currently have, a defense that is utterly depleted, a defense that's missing 6 or 7 of their top guys, which means now they get the ball. Well, one of the interceptions was a pick six, so you automatically get points on the board. You're behind. And the other interceptions put them in position to score, which they did. And, it just becomes a landslide of now you're playing against, behind. You're playing from behind, and they can now know, okay, well, they're going to be passing, and now the defense can shift, and you don't have many options. So, unfortunately, did not even crack 100 yards today. First time, I strongly believe that's the first time with Andy Dalton being quarterback that he did not even crack 100 yards. 93 yards passing, 5.8 yard average, a 44 rating. Absolutely terrible. So, hey, you guys are giving me the love. I like this. I didn't expect this, but, you guys make this a lot, and we just got a super chat. And so independent media 100% supported by you all. Anytime we get the super chat, I got to pause the show and say thank you. My man, Airsoft, which hasn't been on, I won't say you haven't been on, but it's good to see you on again. We got to get our act together if we want to win. I don't even know where to start right now and saying what we have to do. I guess what we have to do is get ready for Denver, fly back to Charlotte. But, yeah, Airsoft, we got to get our act together. We got to get some, I don't know. I'm just going to be really honest with you all. I don't know much to say right now about this team and where they are and how bad they are. Andy Dalton coming out first couple of games looking good. Last week started getting, bad. And this week it was even worse. Like, I really don't know how this happens because it just seems like things were so different. Even when they lost the first couple, I'm like, it's okay. We're still putting points on the board. It's okay. Chuba Hubbard is still getting yardage. Today, neither one of those things happened. Why didn't they happen? What was going on? Like, I don't know. I'm a little speechless, but Airsoft, definitely appreciate your comment there. We're going to continue to work through these stats. Let's talk about the receivers. Now we'll go to the rushes. We were just talking about Chuba and company. Chuba did have 17 rushes, but this is without a doubt his poorest rushing performance in terms of his average, 3.1 yard average. He did get a touchdown. That's awesome. Great for you, Chuba. But overall, 52 yards, that's bad for him. I don't think he had his 100-yard or 100-yard from scrimmage average today. We'll see that in just a second. Miles Sanders doing pretty good, 3 for 34, 11.3 yard average with that 26-yard long, and Xavier Legette getting in on there. Overall, the team, 23 rushes, 95 yards. So we did run the ball more than we attempted to pass the ball. We ran the ball more than we attempted to pass the ball. So could Dave Canales be – I don't know. I feel like he's trying, but he just doesn't have enough to do anything significant as teams get more tape on on the Panthers, as we deal with injuries and rotating players in and out. And it's just not anything positive happening. Let's go ahead and look at the receivers. We'll have to point out here, Jatavian Sanders continues to develop. Jatavian Sanders actually has this stat that I've been wanting to share with you all. He has a lot of separation when he's getting the ball thrown to him. So not just in every play, but on plays in which he is targeted, he has a lot of separation. He actually leads the league. I bet you didn't know that. He leads the league in that separation on plays where he is actually targeted and continues to improve. Had his career high day today with 61 yards on 6 catches. He led with targets, led with yardage, almost led with the average yards with 10.2. But his long was the long of the day with 29 yards. So something that we got to do right now, if you want to maintain any kind of sanity, is look at the positive. Try to find something to say, okay, well, this is improving over here or this is happening over here. If not, if you're over, then you might just want to take a break because we got a lot more weeks left in this season. Ian Thomas, Xavier Legette, I'll just let you all soak in the rest of those stats there. Just not good enough. Not going to get you in position to do much in this league at this level. Let's go ahead and look at the defensive side. Shaw Smith-Wade, the rookie, led us in tackles today with 8, 5 solo, 3 assisted tackles. He also, as we touched on, has had some penalties on him, but I feel like he can get those together. Rookies are going to be rookies, and he definitely had his rookie moments today with those penalties being called. But you know what he has down? He has the, hey, what are you talking about, right? All those guys get that down quickly. He has a, hey, ref, what are you talking about? But, yeah, it was some interference there. Xavier Woods, Trevin Wallace continue to play very solid. And, you know, teams go to take advantage of us wherever they can. So what I have noticed is that teams they'll get in the red zone. I'm thinking it was like right here earlier this afternoon, and they're rushing, or they're driving, They're driving in, and they say, hey, let's go hurry up. They got a rookie back there that's calling all the players out. He's going to have to yell stuff quickly, and they go hurry up. So we'll continue to see stuff like that. Now, I expect Trevin to continue to evolve and get better, but he's a rookie, so they're taking advantage as they should, and as I would as the coach. Let's go ahead and look at the overall standings right now in the NFC South. Carolina Panthers at the bottom, 1-6. New Orleans Saints, 2-5. Falcons, 4-3. Buccaneers have not played yet. They're at 4-2. So Tampa and Atlanta starting to build some separation here as we get about a third of the way through the season. And, you know, Tampa and Atlanta looking good. Carolina Panthers not looking so good. I think we got another super chat. Yes, indeed, we did. Airsoft, I appreciate you, boss man. I appreciate you with another super chat coming through. We got hit hard by injuries this year. Yes, we got hit extremely hard. And, you know, every team does. And the problem with us, it almost seems like we just got bad luck. Just bad luck. You know, you can say injuries can't be an excuse, but you have to acknowledge they do affect your team. They do affect your team when you lose 6 or 7 of your defensive starters. They do affect your team when you lose, you know, right now, two of your offensive linemen. And thankfully we were able to have Deontay Johnson out there today, but we almost didn't have Deontay. So you look at the Saints, their team that's dealing with the same thing. They came out first 2 games. They're putting up nearly 50 points in each game, looking spectacular, and everybody's like, hey, where did this come from? And then all of a sudden, they lose key players. They lose their starting quarterback in Derek Carr. They lose, Mr. Gadget guy, plays all over the place. I'm drawing a blank. Gosh darn it, but they lose that guy for the Saints. They've lost some of their linemen. So what's happened since then? Well, now they've gone spiraling down. So it affects you. You know, you have the next man up mentality, but sometimes it's just too much to overcome. Appreciate the comments there, Airsoft. And speaking of injuries, so I already spoke today about the Raheem Blackshear injury with his shoulder. No further information on that. Also talked about Bryce Young. So I want to go ahead and spend a little bit of time going through some of you all's comments, all right? Because I know we might need somebody to talk to right now, and I want to help out. So Ali Bodrick says, welcome back, fellas. All I can do is shake my head. Yeah. It kind of goes to start making you numb when you see the things that we had. That first drive, again, we're coming down, and I'm getting ready for my notes and saying, okay, here's going to be the picture for the day, because I like the play calling early on. It was some really good play calling. It was split between run and pass. You had it was a methodical approach going down the field. You had, let's see where my notes were here. I think you had like some misdirection things where it was a great play fake, and then that's where Miles Sanders goes down the field for 26 yards about, and then you had another play where same kind of thing, misdirection. Andy, the play action is going to the right. He jumps up, throws it back to his left. Now that play that he threw, it was incomplete because he overthrew the intended receiver. But if he had not done that, he had like 3 linemen against 1 defender, and that, I guarantee you, that would have been a score, and that would have been what we need. We need to score first in order to have any kind of opportunity. We squandered that away, and yeah, it's just like the dam's going to break on us, unfortunately. But I like the play calling early on, and we had to change because it wasn't going well at all. Appreciate you, Ali, on that comment there. Antonio, always with a good message. Like, subscribe, and share the stream. Do what Antonio says. All the time. Do what Antonio says. Here we go. Your boy Kels. Only person that shined today, JT Sanders and maybe Hubbard, I guess. Let's see. I don't know if I forgot to check on Hubbard's stat if he had the 100 from scrimmage. But you're right, Kels, on that one. Let's see. So I know he had about 50 yards. Wow, Chuba did not have a catch today. Man, where was I? Like, it got hard to even watch this game. So, yeah, you can't even count Chuba. You know, you may want to. He fights hard, but Chuba did not have much success today. Again, I know he had about a 3.1 yard average, which is far, far below his 5.4-ish that I believe he has had coming into the game today. So, you know, hats off to the Commanders. They shut us down. Hats off to Frankie Louvu, who showed that energy that he showed so well for the Carolina Panthers. But unfortunately today he was showing it for the Commanders as he got to the Carolina Panthers and impacted this game today. Let's see, continue to work through some of these comments here. We wasted our lives away watching that horrendous performance. Yeah, it was a tough day to watch the game. What's going on, Thomas? I talked to Thomas a little bit during the game. It was nice when the Panthers were mediocre, going 7-9, 8-8. I do remember that time, right? You're like, hey, why can't we have 2 winning seasons in a row? Why do we have a winning season and then a losing season, or a winning season and then I forget what I'm trying, like an 800 season, a 500 season? Now, yeah, it would be great to have mediocre where we're good, bad, because we've just been bad. 1-6 right now. Pretty tough. I know he missed that, and fire and temper you could talk about it as frustration or just to get it off your chest, but the billionaire boys, they like to keep each other around, so I'm pretty sure he's not going anywhere soon. He'd have to be voted out by some guys. It just isn't going to happen. Shouts out to the family once again tuning in and watching. What's up, Mrs. Jenkins, and happy birthday. Did I still have the photo up? Let me see if I still have the photo up. I think I don't have the photo up. Let's see if I can super quickly find it. We need bright spots, so why not share this family moment with you guys as the family says what's up to me here during the broadcast. Here we go. I find it. Give me about 3 more seconds. And if she's watching, she's probably going to smile. There she is, the first daughter for the Jenkins family, Sierra, as today is her birthday. She is 1 year old, so happy, sweet birthday to you, Sierra. I will be seeing you shortly tomorrow when I get back. And also Cameron and Cyrus, what are you guys up to? Make sure y'all go to bed soon. Don't give Mom a hard time. She ain't going to let me come out on the road no more. T. Green says our team needs to wake up and get it together. Yeah, you feel like they were flat today? You feel like they gave up? What do you guys think? Flat, gave up, just don't have it? It's tough. Yeah, I feel like the wheels on the bus, I would say, didn't come off. But all the screws got loose and things just slowed down in terms of it just slowed down. And the Commanders just methodically, they didn't chunk plays to death. They didn't big plays today. I mean, I know it was one point, I forget what drive it was in the game, where they ran the ball. Let me see if I can quickly find how many times they ran. They ended up throwing it before that possession was over. But the drive that they had was just like run. Let me see if I can quickly find that possession and break down how many runs they had in a row during that time on that drive. It's like teams really can just do whatever they want with us. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, let's see. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to see if I can find this. Let's see. Did they get a touchdown? That was 4 plays. That was 8 plays. Is this it here? I need my glasses, so I may not suggest that I do this because I don't have my glasses on. Shotgun. Yeah, I can't because I don't have my glasses on, unfortunately, and I don't want to wear them right now on air. But yeah, it was a drive. Probably and there goes the sprinkler, so I may not have much longer out here. I think in Chicago they spared me, so I think they're trying to spare me here, so we'll be able to finish going through here without getting wet. As you guys can see, the sprinklers coming on. Hate the Panthers couldn't pull through today. Yeah, it's tough. If they can win 3 games, that will be a success. And that might be the way that we need to think about things, right? We're still not even halfway there. 3 games will be more than 2 games that we won last year and consider that a success. So possibly. The other team doesn't need to practice when playing. Like I said, I'm going to be here for you all. So if there's just venting tonight, we'll go through these vents for a little bit, and then we'll head on back. The offense had that blip for a bit, but has reverted back to what we are used to being. Yeah, I stay tuned. I do my live post-game show the day after, in which I again open up the lines for you guys to call in mostly, but I'm going to be watching tape, and I'm going to be diving deeper into trying to pinpoint some more things that right now I just feel like at a loss to describe the details. Like, man, how did this happen like this, or what was going on? Where's he looking? Is he going through his reads? Is he going through his progressions? Are they open? Are they all locked up? Is the line not getting any push? Like, what is going on exactly? And right now, I haven't had a chance to do that. They can only get better. Yeah, they can only get better. Panthers play like I'll just say that they played pretty bad here, is what he's saying here. Yes, they played bad. Dumpster fire. Bring back Steve Wilkes. Bryce Young issues rubbed off on Dalton. Let's go ahead and talk about the quarterbacks. So this is my take on the quarterbacks right now. Andy Dalton has certainly not been playing well these past 2 games. Again, he having the 2 interceptions last week with the fourth quarter. Now he's had the 2 in the first half. I'm not sure if they're both in the first quarter today. And that just seems to be like he's like in a funk, right? But Coach Dave Canales said, hey, Andy's still our guy. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Andy still being our guy. I go to look at the whole picture of things, right? You want to be careful about just putting this quarterback in, putting that quarterback in, just kind of like willy-nilly throwing your quarterbacks around. Because you got to keep in mind, Bryce is 1 of 11. Andy is 1 of 11. What kind of message are you sending to your team when you just be like, I'm going to flip this guy in there. Oh, I'm going to flip this guy in there. Somebody wants some consistency amidst all the craziness that's going on. And if you just go back to Bryce in the sense of like, well, what does it matter? We're not playing good. Just throw Bryce in there and let's see how he throws up the ball. Did he get over his problems? And if I'm a receiver, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not excited to come out here and play because we're just kind of throwing guys in and out at quarterback. No, give me a quarterback that we can stick with, that we can continue to try to build things with and get this thing back on the right track instead of just flip-flopping around. So I'm more on the side of Bryce. Number one, I don't have the confidence in him that he is ready to be a franchise quarterback yet. But with the plan, with him being a first round pick, number 1 overall pick, I'm on the school of continue to let Andy play. Now, granted, he can't keep up these 2 interception type games, these sub 100-yard games, that kind of thing, right? But let's say that Andy gets back to at least being a game manager, right? Or even the red rifle comes back, then stay there. Every week, every quarterback's not going to consistently throw 300-yard games, but not giving excuses, but just saying the reality of it is not many quarterbacks in the NFL go through a whole 17-week season and don't have some games where it's like, that wasn't too pretty, right? So stick with Andy, bring Bryce back, but bring him back later in the season, and we'll take it from there. This team still has a lot to figure out, not just on the offensive side of the ball with Bryce and Andy. Neither one of these guys, in my opinion, right now, are the long-term solution. So they're going to have to figure out how they want to go about fixing that. And then on the defensive side, you got many, many things to fix. Number one, starts up front, right? We spend a lot of money investing in that offensive line, and we have seen better in that offensive line this year. Now we need to get the same thing on the other side, right? Get that other side fixed up. Derek Brown coming back will help a lot. And then it cascades from the front to the back at that point, right? So that's my vote. Appreciate you, T. Green, for your comment. I need to drink of water here. My photographer put it out of camera action for me. And we'll go through some more of these comments here. Appreciate all the likes that are coming in. Give me just 1 second. I know you guys like to make fun of me and drinking water on camera, but yeah, I get a little parched. Here we go. Continuing through. Did we get some more super chats? Oh, you guys are doing great with the super chats. Whoa, we got a nice one right there. We're going to give you all the sound effects here for the support of the channel. Jamie Earl. Man, I really appreciate it. Again, appreciate it. Independent media, 100% supported by you guys. It allows us to do the things that you see now, like going live each and every Sunday before the game for an hour, going live after the game, interacting with you all and taking your questions. It's something that you don't get the opportunity to do much, so I appreciate when you have when you guys show the love that you have. Jamie with the super chat, even though he says, I can't even watch a full game anymore. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You know, I'm going to wrap up soon. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's a guy that's to my left that is being quite the gentleman. He's helping me not get wet as the sprinklers are on behind me. So we're going to wrap up so he doesn't have to sit out here too long. But I'm going to give him a thumbs up or something. I don't have much to give, but I appreciate him keeping me dry right now. Let's see if we got a few more comments out here. Bezeldorf. What drives me crazy still, Chris, is that we had Sam Darnold. I know where you're going with this. We had Sam Darnold, and he played very well for us while healthy. I don't know. I remember him talking about seeing ghosts. But okay. You could see the talent developing. Why do everything we do? Why do everything we did to get Bryce? Shaking my head. Man, I don't know if I could talk about that complicated issue right there when you have people that are in Carolina and they don't do good and then they leave and they do better. We've definitely had some bad situations, right? We've definitely had some bad coaches. And you almost want to be quick to say, well, do we have another bad coach? I still don't. Even though the record is bad, it's not good, it's not pretty at all, I still feel like Dave Canales is a good guy for this team. I hadn't had a chance to watch his press conference from today yet, but still, to me, he has a lot that he has to fix. He has a lot, and you can't expect a coach to come in the one season, and at this point, 7 games into his season, first time as a head coach, suddenly say, yeah, look, we went from 2-15 to 10 and I don't know what the numbers are. Let's see, 17 game season, 10-7. Like, it takes time. It takes time. So I know patience is hard to ask for when we've been dealing with such poor performances, but we do need a little bit of patience, unfortunately. I say unfortunate because I want some better results as well. Today, JT Sanders was seeing ghosts and one tackled him. Oh, I think he got tripped. Was that JT Sanders that got tripped up? I think it was JT Sanders that caught a pass. I know it was on the right-hand side of the field, and, yeah, got tripped up. But he still had a career day, and he's still a rookie. So give him a little grace there. Give him a little grace. JT is still doing his thing. Hey, for everybody that hates on Ian Thomas, you know, Tommy Trimble's been injured in and out. JT gives you hope that for once we will stop missing Greg Olsen so much. And I'm not saying he's going to be Greg Olsen, but just missing that time where you had a tight end that could also catch as well as block. So Jatavian Sanders is looking like that guy. Hats off to him. Keep doing your thing, JT. Keep developing. All right. I know this is going to be some anger here. Shaqued only comes with the anger. Dave Canales should be in the hot seat. His honeymoon ended enough with an embarrassing loss. So Shaqued is quick to fire everybody. And I'm going to show you love because you remember, Chris, why Evero not been fired? How long do we have to go with this garbage? He even got creative with garbage, using the emoji garbage. Shaqued, I strongly feel like you're going to have Evero through the end of the year. So that's how long. Strap up, as J.C. Horn does. Put on your seatbelt. He's going to be here for a minute. Clayality, bro. We lost so many starters. I don't know who half the team is. Next year we come back with our O-line, Chuba and Brooks, with our decent receiver group, draft all the defense. I feel like that is a bit of positivity. I feel like that is the most positive that we have had tonight. And it's the right attitude to have. This year is not going to be much. It's some hurt guys out there on both sides of the ball. It's coaches learning. It's players learning. It's your rookies being good, but they still have rookie stuff to go through. And, you just got to hope that we have some flashes and some moments and that we don't have too many more. Like, we got to get out of this funk, though. 7 points today, I'm going to tell you, I didn't expect that to happen. The one thing that I have been enjoying with Andy is that there's been some points on the board. And whether we still lose 30-20, there's points on the board, or 38-20. But having 7, it seemed for the longest that we were going to have a scoreless game today. It just seemed like it was. But, again, a little hat tip to Dave Canales. He didn't sit back there and say, yeah, you know what, we'll just play terrible ball. We won't go aggressive. We won't try to do anything, change anything up. He went for it on the 4th down early in the game. I forget what the score was. I think at that point it might have been like maybe like a 17-0 type score at that point. Understanding that, hey, our defense isn't stopping anybody, so we need to do something to give ourselves an opportunity to, extend this game, stay in this game. And he went for it. I give him kudos for that. I feel like in the past, you have Frank at coach or Matt Rule, and it'll be things that happen. You're just like scratching your head like this. Can we please try to act desperate to win a game? We obviously don't have the resources, the personnel to do that. But he went for it on 4th down. The fake punt, I don't know what that was. Again, I haven't watched the press conference to see what he said about it. But the Johnny Hecker thing, where they shifted the formation, they went from the dual protections to having both guys on the left-hand side. They ran out of time on the play, but could that have been a fake punt that they were going to go for? If so, again, kudos to Dave. He is trying different things. Now, he's not going to be reckless with his risk. He's not just going to suddenly say, hey, Evero, just send everybody every time, right? That's not going to put us in a good position. But because you still want to play football. Like he has said, we still need to establish our brand of football. We still need to establish our culture. We still do who we are and put that structure in place. And that's what he's also trying to build and implement, while at the same time getting rookies up to par, getting, the players that are on the practice squad that are now suddenly having to play major roles as we are depleted with injuries. So he has a lot that he's dealing with, just factually looking at the matter. Appreciate your clarity on that comment there. We're going to get through one more because, again, this guy is keeping me dry, and I appreciate it very much. Let's get through one more. Some happy birthdays to the daughter. Appreciate it all very much. Hey, we're all family here. Sierra, if you're still watching, happy birthday. She sometimes goes, Dad, and she's starting to wave now, so it's cute. This is the part where I think, people say, this is your first story. Watch, she's gonna take your heart. And I was like, oh man, I can see it. She's starting to look like I told my wife today, she's starting to look like a little girl now. And what I meant by that is before it just seemed like a baby. Baby's just like baby. And now she's starting to look like a little girl, which is precious and cute. We got time for one more comment before we get out of here. Here we go. We got Leonard Kowalski. Hold on, Leonard. Let me get a drink of water here so I can stay parked. All right, here we go. Last one. Old school Panther fans remember the Winky error where we'd remove him from the game on 3rd and 8 and run Wildcat. Yeah, Wildcat is now a thing of the past. You don't see that anymore. You might see it barely, but you really don't see that anymore. Yeah, we might have to just have a Reminisce Monday where we talk about the good old days, whether it's the Cam era or the Steve Smith era, whatever, because it's tough right now. But I appreciate everybody taking the time out of your evening to join me. Really appreciate it. You could be doing anything, but you decided to join in, watch the live broadcast, hear me recap the game for you today, so I sincerely appreciate it. We will again be live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our day after show, 100% dedicated to you all calling in, right? So I don't have any information I'm going to talk about other than to answer your questions, whatever they may be about this team, and I'll break things down a little bit further about what happened today. So be sure to look out for that. As always, check Twitter. We have a lot of great imagery from the game that we captured today. Those images are on Twitter. If you haven't checked that out, please check that out. And then through the week, we put up a lot more images on Instagram. So those are the ways to continue to follow along with our content. Excited to say we will be in Denver. We will be in Durham. We're gonna be at this team no matter what throughout the full season. So I hope that's something that you are interested in and can earn your subscription to our channel. Chris Jenkins reporting live from Landover, Maryland. I left my little, let me put it on here so I can feel special. Boom, there it is. You see it on screen now. Chris Jenkins live from Landover, Maryland at Northwest Stadium as, again, the Carolina Panthers have fallen to the Washington Commanders. They'll play next Sunday in Denver. Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.